Okay, Chris, you're good to go.
All right, thank you. Before we start the meeting, I would like to read a land acknowledgement. The Township of Woolwich is located on the lands of the Haldimand Treaty of 1784 within the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the neutral people including the Chinantong and the Adirondack. The land is part of the Dish with One Spoon wampum. The dish represents the lands that is to be shared peacefully, and the spoon represents the individuals living on and using the resources of the land in the spirit of mutual cooperation. Recently, many scholars, individuals, and Indigenous peoples have come to believe that the dish with one spoon concept can raise awareness regarding ecological and environmental sustainability. One of the core values of the concept is that those who use the land should not abuse the land. In other words, individuals and groups should only take what they need from the land so that there will be a healthy, long-term, sustainable environment. As a committee, we recognize this union of peace and the need for a healthy, sustainable environment. We acknowledge the Indigenous ancestral guardians of the lands and its waterways, the enduring presence, knowledge, and philosophies of Indigenous people, and recognize their continuing contributions in shaping this area. Today, many Métis and Indigenous people continue to call this land home. May we learn together to care for and respect each other and act as stewards of this land that we inhabit together. I will remind the committee and members of the public that this meeting is being recorded and live streamed to the township's YouTube channel. Anyone who registered to participate in this meeting will be invited to speak in the order of the applications being heard, and we only have one application, so that would be, we'll start off with number one and end with number one. I will now do a roll call of committee and staff members for the benefit of the public watching this meeting. When I call your name, please wave at the camera and say here or present. I am Chris Fletcher and am present and chairing this meeting. Committee members, Tim Cronin.
I'm here.
Thank you, Tim. Linda Dixon.
Present.
Thank you. Stephen Hartman.
Present.
Jeremy Karn.
Present.
And do we have Stephen Dykstra, or is he not here tonight?
He's not. He had an appointment he had to go to, so he's not attending.
Okay, so Sherwin Maloney.
Present.
Thank you. Nancy Thompson, Secretary Treasurer.
Present.
Aaron Wetzel, Assistant Secretary Treasurer.
Present.
Thank you. I will now provide an explanation of the procedures for this meeting. Each application will be read by Aaron or Nancy tonight.
Oh, yeah, Nancy will look after it. Thanks.
Nancy, and she will ask each application to make a brief presentation not to exceed 5 minutes. The committee will be given an opportunity to question the applicant. Any other person who has registered with the recording secretary and is wishing to address the application can either for or against will then be given an opportunity to speak. Please make sure you have turned on your microphone and video and identify yourself clearly for the committee. After everyone has had an opportunity to speak, the committee will make a decision on the application. Once discussions of your application is complete, please mute your microphone and turn off your video. You are free to leave the meeting after the matter has been heard. Each application has a 20-day appeal period as required under the Planning Act. In accordance with Bill 23, appeals may only be submitted by the applicant, the municipality, certain public bodies, or specific persons as defined in the Planning Act and the minister. The last date of appeal for these applications is December 30th, 2025. So right at the end of the year. So at this time, I will ask if members, if they have anyone's declaring a pecuniary interest with respect to the application.
No.
Seeing none, I will ask Nancy to read the application description.
Thanks, Chris. The application this evening is minor variance A15-2025 for Riverland Area 2 GP Ltd. for the properties addressed as 129 Adeline Crescent in Breslau, being Lot 107, Plan 58M 730, and 390 Starlight Avenue, Breslau, being Lot 106, Plan 58M 730. The properties are zoned residential R5A with site-specific provisions in section 16.234 and each contains a single detached dwelling. The applicant is requesting an exemption to section 7.4D to reduce the required side yard separation distance between adjacent dwellings at 129 Adeline Crescent and 390 Starlight Avenue from 1.8 meters to approximately 1.2 meters. The foundation for the dwelling at 129 Adeline Crescent at lot 107, being the corner lot, was poured incorrectly with a 0.6 meter side yard setback versus the proposed 1.5 meter side yard setback. Katrina Munshaw and Amanda Kozlowski are here from Armstrong Planning on behalf of the property owner, and I believe Katrina is going to speak to the application. Katrina, I do have sharing on if you wanted to go through your presentation that you sent. Are you able to upload it, or did you want me to run it from here?
I can run it from here, I think.
Yeah, if you want to share it.
Let me check. Can you see my screen?
We can. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Katrina Munshaw from Armstrong Planning, and I'm here seeking a minor variance on behalf of Empire Communities for the lands within Riverland 2, Phase 3 area in Breslau. The variances for the properties with address of 390 Starlight Avenue and 129 Adeline Crescent, or lots 106 and 107. The minor variance is to allow for the exemption in section 7.4, clause D for the side yard setback. Today, I ask for the one-time exemption to the 1.8 meter separation distance of abutting yards within the zoning bylaw to allow for a 1.27 meter separation distance between the houses on lots 106 and 107. The variance is required due to an honest mistake. The foundation on lot 107 was poured based on an old siting plan, and the discrepancy was not discovered until the foundations for both lots were poured. I will now demonstrate how the variance meets the 4 tests as listed in section 45 of the Planning Act. So is the application keeping with the general intent and purpose of the official plan? Yes, the variance is technical in nature and no use change is proposed. Is it keeping with the general intent of the zoning bylaw? Yes, the intent of the setbacks are met for access, maintenance, privacy, safety, and essential services. Is the application desirable for the appropriate development or use of land, building, or structure? Yes, the setback on each individual yard is consistent with others in the development. It creates no adverse effects on the neighborhood and will legalize the existing foundation that was built in the wrong location or poured in the wrong location. And then is the application minor in nature? Yes, there are no adverse impacts on neighboring properties. Side yard meets Ontario Building Code requirements. It allows access to the rear yard and satisfies the requirement of a side yard. It is our professional planning opinion that this minor variance to reduce the abutting side yard setback on a one-off basis for lots 106 and 107 should be approved, as the proposed variance meets the 4 tests outlined in the Planning Act. Thank you. I can put the images up if that helps.
If you wouldn't mind going back just to show kind of where you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So committee members, do you have any particular questions of the applicant with respect to this matter? Nope, I see none. I only have one question. When did it come to light that this was actually poured in correctly?
October.
Okay. And so it's taking you that time to kind of get your application through the works in order to be able to be heard.
Yeah, it was end of October. I don't have the exact date off the top of my head, but
that's all right. So you weren't able to do it in November, and so you're here in December. And the only other question I have is, what would happen if the committee did not decide to approve your application?
We would have to get rid of the foundation and re-pour it.
Okay. And I'll stop it there. I mean, I think because this is a new area, it's, for me personally, it's it's kind of hard to swallow that we have a new development going in and the rules weren't followed. But I can understand that mistakes are made. So anyways, I'll just leave it at that. And I've heard your submissions and your presentation. So staff, do you wish to make any comments, Sherwin?
I don't have any further comments. Other than I will say that uh, the township is moving in the direction that of having side yards that are um, 0.6. Um, and this would be in line with that. But however, the current zoning does not permit it, if that
Right.
helps.
Yep. Any questions of Sherwin? Tim Cronin?
Just in your recommendations there, condition B, you're right, that the total lot minimum side yard required for each lot is 1.8. If I'm reading that correctly, that means if one side's going to be 0.6 and the other side has to be 1.2. Is that what that's trying to get through to us?
That is correct. Through your chair, that's correct.
And I don't quite see, looking at these pictures, where that falls in, but I guess it doesn't hurt anything. It's not going to give us any problem with it where the port at any event. So, okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Stephen Hartman?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking about a lawnmower. So I guess proposed is 0.64. I'm assuming they could put a fence up and it might be pretty tight. So what remains on the outside of lot 6? The smaller, yeah, right where your cursor is there. What's that distance?
That's 1.2.
1.2? Okay.
So you're
Yeah,
right,
one
it would
more.
be rather tight to kind of come down this 1.27 strip and stay on your own property line, right?
Yeah, yeah. But if the outside's 1.2, that probably would
Yep.
work.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Tim, further question?
Yeah, that mentioning the fence brought up another comment there, because I see Anova Power requested 1.2 between them. Does that agreement preclude putting a fence in here to allow Anova Power to have their 1.2 to access the hydrometers?
Yeah, so there is the easement in place on the front corner of the house, and it goes back, I believe it's 1 meter into the like house distance for Anova, and then it's 1.2 total for the width between the two, so that they have room to service it and do any maintenance required, so that
So
there
that
won't
would-
be a fence
that
or
would-
anything.
That would preclude a fence going in that area to give Anova their required list. Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? If you could please stop sharing, Katrina. Thank you very much. Committee members, how would you like to deal with this matter? Tim Cronin.
Everyone's ready. I'm prepared to move that minor variance application A15-2025 concerning the subject properties at 129 Adeline and 390 Starlight Avenue, Breslau, request relief from section 7.4D. The zoning bylaw permits semi-detached lot with a minimum side yard of 0.6 meters, provide the total distance to the abutting units is not less than 1.2, whereas the bylaw requires a minimum distance of 1.8 meters to residential unit be approved, subject to that the total distance between the dwellings be no less than 1.2 meters, and B, that the total minimum side yard requirement for each lot is 1.8 meters.
Seconder? Linda Dixon, thank you. All in favor? That's unanimous, carried. So Katrina, you got asked what you asked for. And so I'd just like to remind you that the appeal period is December 30th of this year, if there's any need to do that. And thank you for attending the meeting. And you can mute and leave us, or you can stay to hear us approve the minutes of the previous meeting. It's up to you. All right. So the last thing is the approval of the minutes from November 10th. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Linda Dixon moved it. Jeremy Karn second. All in favor? That's carried as well. Do we need to talk about January at all, Nancy?
There are no applications received for the January meeting, so I was thinking we could do our holiday dinner, and I'll follow up with an email tomorrow on that. I think we'll continue with that night, but on suggestion of Tim, maybe move it to Elmira. Linda did have to leave early, so if we move it to Elmira, it gives her a little bit more time to attend the dinner, but we would also push it to 6. Steve, would you still be able to do 6 in Elmira?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, don't
Okay.
make it 1:45 if you have to, for sure. I
Okay.
we can be flexible, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody
I don't
else
want
the
Linda
night
not to enjoy her meal.
right? Yeah, yeah. So no, that was it. And
Dine and
then we'll,
dash.
yeah, yeah. So if we get her a little closer to the curling club, which will be, I'm hoping, actually it was suggested we just go to Grill on the Green if everybody's good with that. And then Linda just has to walk next door.
That's
Perfect.
good.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll
Sounds
plan on
good.
that. And then I will know by the end of this week if we have anything on for February. At this point, though, there are no applications, but there's still some conversations out with some applicants. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So yeah, everybody have a fabulous Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year.
I'll be the chair in,
You will. Yes, we
Yes,
switched the
okay.
chair in January as well.
yes, okay, I
Yes.
thought so. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Nancy. Sorry,
Yeah.
I cut you off.
Nope, that's good. Yep, all good there.
Happy holidays, everyone. See you next
Yep.
year.